Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to be continuing with reading out loud meditations by Marcus Aurelius. And we are on book 8 and we have 4 more books to go through. And I think this is pretty good progress. And hopefully we should be able to finish this thick book by episode 30, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But without further ado, we shall start the timer. And today we are going to be reading it for 15 minutes. And the timer starts right now. Let's do it. Remember that to change course or accept correction leaves you just as free as you were. The action is your own, driven by your own impulse and judgment, indeed your own intelligence. If the choice is yours, why do the thing? But if it is another's choice, why do you blame? Atoms? What do you blame? Atoms or God? Either is madness. There is no blame. If you can, put him right. If you can't, let at the least, if you can't, at the least, put the matter itself right. If that too is impossible, what future purpose does blame serve? Nothing should be done without purpose. What dies does not pass out of the universe. If it remains here and is changed, then here too it is resolved into the everlasting constituents. Which are the elements of the universe and of you yourself. These two change, and make no complaint of it. Everything has come into being for a purpose. A horse, say, a vine. Does this surprise you? Even the sun will say, I came into being for a purpose. Likewise, the other gods. For what purpose? For what purpose then were you created? For your pleasure? Just see whether this idea can be entertained. Nature's aim for everything includes its cessation just as much as its beginning and its duration. Like someone throwing up a ball. How can it be good for the ball on the way up and bad on the way down? Or even when it hits the ground, how can it be good for a bubble when it forms and bad when it bursts? A candle is a similar example. Turn it inside out and see what it is like, what it becomes in age, sickness, death. Life is short both for praiser and praised, for the remembering and the remembered. And this, moreover, in just a cranny of one continent. Even here, not all are attuned to each other, or even an individual to himself, and the whole earth is a mere point in space. Concentrate on the subject or the act in question, or principle or meaning. You deserve what you are going through. You would rather become good tomorrow than be good today. Doing something, I do it with reference to the benefit of mankind. Something happening to me, I accept it in reference to the gods and the universal source from which all things spring and interrelated. Just as you see your bath, all soap, sweat, grime, grease, greasy water, and the whole thing disgusting, so is every part of life and every object in it. Lucia buried Verus. Then Lucia was buried. Secunda buried Maximus. Then Secunda next. So with Epitin. So with Epitichanus and Diotimus, Antonius, Faustina. The same story always. Oh my gosh, these Greek names are messing me up right now. Celer saw Hadrian to his grave, then went to his own grave. Where are they now? Those sharp minds, those prophets or prigs. Certainly, Charax, Demetrius, Eudaimon, and others like them were sharp minds. But all creatures of a day long dead, some not remembered, even briefly. Some turned into legends, and some now vanishing even from legend. So remember this, that either the poor compound. So remember this, that either the poor compound of your body must be scattered, or your frail spirit must be extinguished, or else migrate and take its post elsewhere. Man's joy is to do man's proper work, and work proper to man is benevolence. Is benevolence to his own kind. Disdain for the stirring of the senses, diagnosis of the impressions he can trust, contemplation of universal nature and all things thereby entailed. 3 relations. First, to your environment. Second, to the divine. Let's go again. 3 relations. First, to your environment. Second, to the divine cause, which is the source of all that happens to all men. Third, to your fellows and contemporaries. Pain is an evil either to the body, so let the body give its evidence, or to the soul, but the soul can preserve its own clear sky and calm voyage by not assessing pain as an evil. Every judgment, every impulse, desire, and rejection is within the soul, where nothing evil can penetrate. Erase the impressions on your mind by constantly saying to yourself, "It is in my power now to keep this soul of mine free from any vice or passion, or any other disturbance at all. But seeing all things for what they are, I can treat them with their merits. Remember this power which nature gives you. When you speak in the Senate or to any individual, be straightforward, not pedantic. Use language which rings true. The court of Augustus, wife, daughter, grandsons, stepsons, sisters, Agrippa, relatives, household, friends, Arius, Maecenas, doctors, diviners, and an entire court dead. Go on, tell to other cases, where it is not death of just one individual, but of a whole family, like Pompey's, And there is the inscription you see on tombstones, the last of his line. Just think of all the anxiety of previous generations to leave behind an heir. And then one has to be the last. Here again, the death of a whole family. You must compose your life action by action, and be satisfied if each action achieves its own end as best can be. And no one can prevent you from that achievement. But there will be some external obstacle, no obstacle though, to justice, self-control, and reason, but perhaps some other source of action will be obstructed. We'll gladly accept the obstruction as it is, make a judicious change to meet the given circumstance, and another action will immediately substitute and fit into the composition of our life as discussed. Accept humbly, let go easily. If you have ever severed hand or foot, or a head cut off, and lain some way away from the rest of the body, analogous is what someone does to himself, as far as he can, when he will not accept his lot, severs himself from society, and does some unsocial act. Suppose you have made yourself an outcast from the unity of nature. You were born a part of it, but now you have cut yourself off. Yet here lies the paradox, that it is open to you to rejoin that unity. No other part has this privilege from God, to come together again once it has been separated and cut away. Just consider the grace of God's favor to man. He has put it in man's power not to be broken off from the whole in the first place, and also, if he has broken off, to return and grow back again, resuming his role as a member. Just as nature of the whole is the source of all other faculties in every rational creature, so it has given us this power too. In the same way that nature turns its own purpose anything obstructive or contrary, placing it in the fated scheme of things and making it part of itself, so the rational being can also convert every obstacle into material for his own use, and use it to further whatever his original purpose was. Do not let the panorama of your life oppress you. Do not dwell on all the various troubles which may have occurred in the past or may occur in the future. Just ask yourself in each instance of the present, what is there in this work which I cannot endure or support? You will be ashamed to make any such confession. Then remind yourself that it is neither the future nor the past which weighs on you, but always the present, and the present burden reduces if only you can isolate it and accuse your mind of its weakness. If it cannot hold against something thus stripped bare. Is Panthea or Pergamus still sitting by the coffin of Verus? or Tiberius, or Diotimus by Hadrians. Ridiculous! And if they were still sitting there, would the dead be aware? And if they were aware, would they be pleased? If they were pleased, would that make their mourners immortal? Was it not their fate also to grow old women and old men like any others, and then to die? And then to die, and with them dead, what would those they mourn do then? And with them dead, what would those they mourn do then? It is all stench and corruption and a bag of bones. Alright, this is the end of today's reading session.